I'm calling the police on you right now. Do you hear me? Right now. My neighbor, a woman named Brenda Higgins, was practically shrieking those words into her iPhone, her voice so intense I could actually see the veins straining along her neck. She stood at the edge of my driveway, jabbing a perfectly manicured finger toward my wife, who, at that exact moment, was committing the extremely dangerous act of unloading a box of books from a truck. Suspicious military vehicle. Possible stolen valor. They are endangering the community. Brenda barked into the call, her voice bouncing off the vinyl siding of the quiet suburban homes around us. Behind her, her husband hovered nervously, filming everything with shaky hands like a man who had given up arguing with life decades ago. Within 20 minutes, 3 squad cars rolled up to our curb as if we were running some kind of criminal operation out of our garage. The craziest part? We weren't even part of our homeowners association. We never signed anything. We weren't members. But that didn't matter to Brenda. She wasn't concerned with technicalities like jurisdiction. She cared about control. She had summoned police, waived paperwork, and documented everything on a property she had no authority over, completely convinced she could shut us down simply because we didn't match her idea of perfection. I stood there, watching the red and blue lights flicker across the olive-drab surface of the truck, and realized something important. This wasn't just a difficult neighbor. This was someone spiraling into a full-blown power obsession. What Brenda didn't know, what she couldn't possibly know, was who she had just accused. I watched her expression carefully, memorizing every detail, because I knew that in just a few seconds, it was going to change forever. When my wife calmly reached into her back pocket, Brenda's smug, self-satisfied look began to crack. What came out didn't just silence her. It completely shifted the balance of power in the entire neighborhood. But before I tell you about that moment, let me rewind. Let me explain how we got here, how what should have been a peaceful homecoming turned into a full-on suburban war. My name is Lucas, and for the past 2 years, my marriage has existed through pixelated video calls, delayed I love yous, and a constant, quiet anxiety sitting in my chest. My wife, Elena, had been deployed overseas. 2 years, 730 days of waking up alone. So when I finally got the call that she was coming home for good, that she'd been reassigned to a desk job at the local base, I went all in. I bought us a house, a beautiful 2-story colonial on a quiet street called Oak Creek Lane. I wanted everything to be perfect. I spent days cleaning every inch of it. I redid the landscaping. I even hung a massive welcome home banner across the porch. I wanted her first step onto that driveway to feel like peace, like safety. What I didn't account for was Brenda Higgins. She lived 3 houses down, in a place that looked like it belonged in a magazine no one actually reads. She was the self-appointed ruler of Oak Creek Lane, the kind of person who would measure your grass height and leave passive-aggressive notes if your trash bin sat out 10 minutes too long. I had noticed her before, lurking behind her blinds, watching everything. But I assumed if I stayed quiet and kept to myself, she'd ignore us. That assumption didn't last long. The day Elena came home, the weather was perfect. Cool air, bright sun, and I was pacing inside like a nervous father waiting at a hospital. Then I heard it, a deep, rumbling diesel engine. I looked out the window and saw it, a massive surplus military transport truck turning onto our street. Elena had borrowed it from a friend at the base to move her heavier gear. It was loud, olive green, and completely out of place among the neat rows of bay sedans. She climbed out of cab, and at 36, she looked incredible. Uniform crisp, posture sharp, moving with that quiet, controlled precision the military drills into you. She saw me and smiled, and for a moment, everything felt perfect. Then a door 3 houses down slammed open. Brenda Higgins stormed out. She wasn't walking. She was advancing, like she was heading into battle. She wore a pink velour tracksuit and fuzzy slippers, but the energy was pure confrontation. Her phone was already in her hand, snapping rapid photos. Click, click, click. She marched straight up to the edge of our property, stopping exactly 1 inch short of stepping onto the driveway. "Excuse me." Her voice cut through the moment like a blade. "Excuse me. I am Brenda Higgins, president of the Oak Creek HOA Compliance Committee. Section 4, Paragraph 2. No commercial or industrial vehicles may remain street-side for more than 15 minutes. I stepped forward, forcing a polite smile. Hi, Brenda. This is my wife, Elena. She just got back. We're unloading. It'll be gone in about an hour. She didn't even acknowledge me. Her eyes stayed locked on Elena, scanning her from head to toe with open disdain. I don't care who she is. Rules are rules. And frankly, this display is unacceptable. It lowers property values just looking at it. Elena didn't react emotionally. She simply turned her head slightly, studying Brenda like she was analyzing something unfamiliar. And another thing, Brenda continued, gaining confidence from the silence. I checked the registry. There's no active duty personnel listed at this address. So this little costume act, it's stolen valor. It's fraud, and I will not tolerate it in my neighborhood. Costume act, I said, feeling anger rising fast. Brenda, she just got back from deployment. Convenient story, Brenda scoffed. I've run this neighborhood for 12 years. I know a fake when I see one. I've forced out families for less than this. I am the authority here. Now she was performing. Neighbors were watching from windows, curtains slightly parted. This was her show, her chance to establish dominance over the new arrivals. Finally, Elena spoke. Her voice was calm, controlled, almost unsettling in how steady it was. Ma'am, she said, you seem very focused on authority. Do you know what real authority looks like? Brenda laughed, a sharp, grating sound. Sweetheart, I have county enforcement on speed dial. I am the authority. And right now, I'm calling the police. Let's see how military you are when real officers show up. And just like that, she dialed 911, right in front of us, putting it on speaker as she reported us as suspicious individuals posing a threat. Elena didn't stop her. Instead, she calmly pulled out her phone and took a single photo of Brenda mid-rant. Why did you do that? I asked quietly as Brenda retreated to her porch, waiting triumphantly for police. Elena gave a small, cold smile. Evidence, Lucas. In any conflict, you secure the evidence first. 20 minutes later, the sirens arrived. 2 cruisers, led by a man I'd later learn was Chief Brody, gray-haired, sharp-eyed, carrying the weight of years on the job. A younger officer followed behind him. Brenda rushed them before they even stepped out. Thank God you're here. These people are aggressive. They're impersonating military personnel. That truck is a danger. She was practically vibrating with excitement. This was her moment. She expected arrests, humiliation, total victory. Chief Brody approached us, studying the truck, then Elena. Ma'am, we received a disturbance call. Can you explain the vehicle? It's transporting my gear, Chief, Elena replied evenly. I'm in the process of unloading. Check her ID. Brenda shouted from behind. Make her prove it. She's a fraud. Brody sighed slightly. Ma'am, I'll need to see some identification. This was it. The moment Brenda had been waiting for. Elena nodded. Calm, unhurried. Of course. She reached into her back pocket, slowly, deliberately, and pulled out her military ID.